Two B teams in 1 week. You guys are in for a treat because we catch up with the best looking front rower in the NRL, Mr. Alex Twal, to talk about his first try, all things Tigerland, and the Cedars at the World Cup. Don't miss it.
Welcome back to the #1 rugby podcast in Spain. As always, I'm joined by my brother, Mr. John Bernard. But we got another Cedar international, Alex Twal from the West Tigers. Alex, thanks for jumping on, brother.
Thanks for having me on, lads. Really appreciate it.
I got to say, appreciate you coming on, Alex. And you know, there's that saying where you see someone and they're not that better looking on as they are on Instagram.
Yeah.
Alex Twal's a much
blue
better
eyes.
sort in real life.
Yeah, he is. Honestly, does not look like a forward.
Yeah, no, mate.
That's what my missus said as well, actually. She goes, you actually look better in real life.
I reckon you do, 100%.
Thanks,
He's got
lads.
the blue eyes. Would have
Thanks,
been
brothers.
tied up now. Mrs.
That's it,
engaged.
Yeah, engaged. Yeah,
Congratulations.
wedding at the end of the year. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
And can I just say, whatever they fed the Lebanese families, whatever they fed you boys, they didn't feed me. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. Two big boys
you have
here.
too many coffees, mate. You gotta get stuck into some Lebanese barbecues for a living, mate. Well, yeah, Alex is a Maryland's boy.
Yep.
Grew up out Parramatta way, Parramatta Junior. Talk us through like what it was coming up through the ranks at Para, and you know your junior footy. Where'd you play your junior footy?
Yeah, it was good, man. Like, obviously, grew up all my life in Maryland. Been there, since day dot, and played all my juniors there at Parramatta City Titans, the local club there. Played with all my mates, growing up with them, and went to school with most of the boys that I played with on the weekend. And yeah, man, it was just at the start, it was just all for, fun and games, and sort of just, really look forward to that, Tuesday and Thursday training with the boys, and
Game
after
Saturday,
school,
Sunday.
game Saturday, Sunday, and same sort of like, situation like for most kids, but, for me it was just, I started to, find the desire for it when I was about 16. I think, a few of my mates had made the Harold Matt's team, and I was just thinking, wow, like I'd love to, start taking this thing seriously, so put in a hard years of training. I was a pretty big boy growing up.
Yeah, were you always a front rower?
Yeah, always a front rower. But when I was younger, I was a play one fronty because I
yeah?
was a couple kilos overweight. So
Oh, yeah? So
yeah,
you've
yeah.
trimmed
So
down.
You're a 20-minute Georgie Rose off the bench.
yeah.
Now you've become an 80-minute player. That's
Yeah,
hard work,
so
kids.
Then I sort of made Harold Matts for Parramatta, and then I played extra ball there for a couple of years, 20s, and then got to a stage there where I was about 19 or 20, and then I had the opportunity to stay at Parramatta for a couple more years or move over to the Tigers. And at the time, Ivan Cleary had just signed with the club, and he was looking to take the club in a certain direction. And he reached out to me and wanted me to come to the club. So the Tigers offered me a 3-year deal, and ended up being the best decision I ever made. Taking the deal up, and I love the Tigers, and been there since the start of my NRL career, and I've loved every minute.
Yeah, good on you.
Alex, the Tigers have chopped and changed coaches a few times. You've remained there. Now, for Tigers fans, we've got a lot of them that listen to this podcast. A couple big changes coming in next season. The big one is the coaches. There's a couple huge players coming as well. Have you spoken to Benji yet or Tim Sheens? Like, what's the vibe like around the camp with the boys?
Yeah, the vibe's really, positive and real good. I always, stay in touch with Benji even after he left the Tigers. He's a really good lad and cares a lot about the club, and same for Robbie Farah, Both of them, have a real care for the club. And, I guess when you mention the name West Tigers, you think of them blokes straight away, Robbie Farah, Benji Marshall. And
05 legends.
yeah, and same as Tim
pass.
Sheen. So I think, bringing that DNA back to the club and, it gives something for the fans and, everyone that's interested in the club, something to really look forward to. So, yeah.
It's going to be interesting. What do you think about that, Bernard?
Mate, I actually like Brett Kamali. I think he's kind of earned his keep. He's been assistant coach here and there. I feel like he's kind of up in the air at the moment where he'll land next year. But in terms of like what the goal is for the rest of the season, now obviously you're out, but the boys were done tough last week with a call. But is the goal for the remainder of the season like take each game as it comes, and let's try and avoid the spoon pretty much?
Yeah, well, you can't really look into the past too much, You more just look forward now. We've got a lot of players in the team now where they want to be part of the Tigers going forward, and they want to finish the year on a strong note. And I feel like for us, it's just about making sure that whatever we do going forward is just positive. Making sure that we're ticking every box and that we get the wins on the weekend. Because at the end of the day, sometimes if you can finish that season on a positive note, it puts you in real good stead for the year going forward.
And you can work out some combinations next year, some players. But you got is it Ben Gardner still coaching? Is he the good guy?
Yeah, really good guy, man. Yeah,
He was a PE teacher. at my school.
There you
Great,
go. Yeah, well.
great guy. I think he taught math as well. One of the great guys, man. That's who I felt so bad. I felt bad for all the players, but I felt bad for him as well. Like first game as a coach, if you had to nab that one in Townsville, I would have just retired 1-0, 100%, and that would have been it.
Leave on a high.
Leave on a high.
But I mean, you can't have a better interim coaching record than Mick Potter, who's the best interim coach of all time.
of all time.
Currently at the Bulldogs.
Another
I
ex-Tigers.
want to sing his praises. But
Yeah.
we've had some fan questions come through because we put out that you were coming on the podcast, Alex, and one of them was like, we know you've played over 100 first grade games. You've been playing first grade for 6 years, okay? And credit to the NRL Roast, he put out a petition that I signed.
I signed it.
wholeheartedly signed that we had the Buddy 1000 where everyone stormed the SCG when Buddy kicked his 1000th goal. Now, what about the Twal 1? When you cross over for your first try, do you give permission to the Tigers fans to storm Leichhardt? Because it will happen at Leichhardt.
Andrew Voss has said it. He said he's going to lose his shit if he's commentating your game and you score your first try. Do you give them permission to storm the field out like that?
Oh, look, I don't know how far my permission's going to go, to be honest with you, but yeah, look, I don't know. It'd be an awesome experience, but yeah, I don't think they're.
Do you have any try celebrations just in the locker? Like, you seem like a fairly humble guy, but surely you get over your first. Are you keeping it simple with like a ball spike, or you doing something a bit more elaborate?
Probably just getting around the boys.
Nah, yeah, I don't have it in me, man. I'll just probably just cruise.
Just a little,
just a little,
one of these
little,
ones.
yeah, little.
I'll tell you, if I'm at Leichhardt and Alex Twal
I'm running on the
I'm
field.
jumping over. I'm jumping over the field. If it's a 5 grand fine, I'll cop it. It's worth it for history.
What's the
You know?
closest
Thanks,
you've
brother.
gotten? Disallowed try?
Yeah, I've gotten close a few times.
Because the only way I probably see you going over, either just
Little short ball from
short
dummy
ball
half.
head down at the post. That's how
Yeah,
you're going over.
yeah.
Maybe Appy next year, nice and short.
Yeah.
Does this include international games? What if he crosses over for the Cedars?
Ooh.
Yeah, nah.
I think it's NRL.
Nah, so it's
I just think
NRL
it's
tries.
NRL. Yeah, I think it's NRL. But I could see that, or just a little error. Someone drops the ball. Twiley's just there.
That's what I'm
scoops
saying.
it
Like you
up.
see all these blokes, they're scoring tries just from like someone dropping the ball, and it never happened for me.
Yeah,
So
or like a kick ricochets off
never
the
happened
post.
for me. But
Do you have to do a nudie run at the end of the year? What's your Mad Monday look like?
what's a nudie run? I've done 10 of them. So. Nah, it is what it is, man.
All right, this question is from Tom. What do they do when they test you for a HIA? I've actually always wanted to know that because I've heard sometimes like they ask you what day it is, they make you say the months
Well,
backwards.
and
or
apparently
something
they're
like
putting
that.
a machine on your head now.
Yeah, what do
What's
they
the-
do?
What's the
Just a
protocol?
few questions and stuff. You know, we sort of like test your memory sort of questions.
Okay.
So that, ask where you played last week or stuff like that. Just pretty standard questions. And
Do you have a
Yeah.
hard time with those questions in general?
general.
Like, what you
I
have for
a hard
breakfast
time with
this
the
morning?
questions, yeah, in general. Nah, they're actually pretty straightforward. So, like, 9 times out of 10, everyone passes the HIA unless it's cop the.
I heard Adam Dewey
Serious
struggles with them.
Yeah, he struggles.
He wasn't the
with
brightest kid at school.
Nah.
Adam.
Yeah.
No, I'm only joking. no.
So I
but-
heard there was one like you have to say the months backwards, and honestly, I would struggle if I was
Yeah,
sweating.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
that's
speaking on the HIAs, like you're coming off concussion injury. Now, they're taking it very seriously.
They are.
NRL this year. Kalen Ponga is now possibly ruled out of the season. You're set to be ruled out for the season. How's the concussion coming along? Like, how's your recovery?
Yeah, I feel really good, man. Like, to be honest with you, the club's been awesome. They've really taken care of me, during this process, and I'm feeling good, man. I'm just looking forward to come back on the field eventually, soon. But I'm just trying to stay positive, get around the boys and make sure that I help them, in any way I can. It might not be on the field, but off the field, we've got a few young blokes debuting and whatnot, and just trying to help anyone at the club in any way I can. So yeah.
Yeah, no. So still that training, and do you have? There's some reports that you might miss out on the World Cup at the end of the year. Do you want to push for trying to come back at the World Cup?
Yeah, look, I'll obviously try to push, but at the same time, I'm guided by what the specialists say. So at the end of the day as well, my health comes first, but, the Tigers are my priority as well. The club's done everything right by me, and I want to, when I come back to play, I want to make sure that I'm 100%, focused on, putting us back in the finals and, having a really good 2023.
You got a bit of spare time now that you're having a bit of time off. What do you do outside of footy? Are there any other passions like Alex Twal, content creator, male model?
Some players play golf,
Some make TikToks.
Pappenhausen has virtual dogs in crypto, he backs virtual greyhounds. Are you doing anything
I
outside of
finished a
footy?
degree, Bachelor of Commerce, majored in marketing, and I've done my Cert 3 and 4 in fitness. But, it's probably at that point now where, I want to start learning some other tools, So I was just speaking to you lads, maybe teach me a bit of editing and that.
Yeah. We'll give you a crash
Yeah.
course. We'll give you a crash
Yeah.
course. But, I mean, funny that, like, you're probably going to go into next year, big preseason with Sheensy, Robbie and Benji now at the helm next year. But yeah, like I said, he's getting married. He's getting married in November this year. We've got a funny story.
Congratulations.
That's right.
He proposed not too long ago, a few months ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it a smooth one or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Had to
yeah.
convince her.
Yeah.
Nah.
Lebos,
Come on.
Lebos
Yeah.
follow this trend now.
Okay, tell
It's
me.
Salim Maharaj's fault where we got to get videographers and everyone
Okay.
on the scene
Yeah.
and document the proposal.
Yeah, don't worry.
So
tell us
Alex
to do
being
the
a true Lebo, and I'll probably have to do the same down the line. He did that. Funnily enough, he employed the services of my brother to be on the scene. Now I actually don't know how
same.
you did it. What?
Not your twin.
Talk us through. Not my twin brother. Talk us through what the proposal was, because it looked romantic on Instagram.
So, Johnny's brother was actually at the proposal, and what he was doing was we actually got the videographer or the photographer to pretend like he was holding up his graduation certificate, because I told my missus that we were going there for graduation photos, because me and my missus had just graduated. I actually met her at uni. So Johnny's brother was there standing in the middle of the middle of the courtyard at the uni, and he was holding a graduation certificate that him and his friend had
Just graduated.
I
Yeah.
like
yeah,
this, I
had
like
made,
this.
and he was wearing the full gown as well. And then as I
dressed
was
him up in the
as
kit,
I was,
full kit.
as I was approaching, he'd thrown the hat up, and I sold the pitch to my missus. That my missus actually thought that the graduation photo was taken away. And as we walked past the photographer, Johnny's brother moved out of the way, and then I just dropped the one knee, and then
Oh,
Brilliant.
mate, that
The rest
is
is history,
unreal,
so-
mate.
He's good. That is setting
Yeah.
the bar high.
That's
I
a
like
movie.
that.
Yeah,
That's out of a movie.
Beautiful.
She reckons
Honeymoon
it was
planned
soft,
as well.
yeah.
Where are you going?
Oh yeah, no, honeymoon's not planned, so I just got to just see what happens, see what's going on, and
Yeah, it'll cross into
Yeah,
pre-season
cross
next
into
year.
He's
pre-season.
not your
so-
typical front rower.
yeah.
Not
No,
your typical
no,
front
mate,
rower at
he's
all. Got the baby blue eyes.
University graduate,
Yeah,
very intelligent,
very
mate.
smooth.
The sky's the limit for Alex Twal. from what I'm
You're
hearing.
going to see best work off the field as well. Now, Alex, we did this with Jacob Carraz last week. Fans loved it. We call this segment the starters. We want you to name the top three. You can take as long as you like, and we can alley-oop these for you. Top three toughest opponents you've ever faced. Starting in number three.
No
Can be-
particular order.
no
No particular
There
order.
can be no
If- yeah,
particular
if you-
order.
Yeah,
It
just
can be a forward. It can be a winger that you didn't know was that hard to tackle.
you'll have a memory of someone that you've been
Yeah.
watching on video, like Tamalolo, for example.
Yeah.
You know he's going to give you a
Yeah.
hard time in the ruck.
Big Tamalolo definitely be one. Just
Yeah.
his footwork and obviously the size of him.
He's a
and
machine.
Just been a generally really good athlete, and I think number two probably Teddy Tedesco. Yeah,
he's always
just
sniffing around the ruck
soft
too.
tackling
Yeah.
concrete. He's
Shit,
so
yeah.
he's rock solid and
He's got the
just
big butt.
very
He's just
agile
always
as well.
low to the ground.
Number three, Brendan Smith as well, just 100 miles an hour. He's just an awesome
Tough
competitor.
player.
Jeez.
Really
Yeah.
good player. So probably say them three. Off the top of my head.
What about, this is one that I always go to as a go-to.
Go.
What's it like getting run at by Nelson Asafa Solomon? Because I think
Yeah.
he's the biggest
Yeah.
forward in the comp.
For sure.
He looks like the biggest handful.
He's got to
like,
be 7'4".
between him and Junior Paulo, maybe Payne Haas.
Yeah.
Like, is it? Do you do video on these boys and be like, we got to shut them down? Try and not let them get any offloads. Like, is it, or do you mainly focus on your strike players like your Teddies and stuff? Do you look at forwards when you do
No,
when
of
you
course,
do video?
yeah. You got to look at it. You respect all your opponents, and they're all classy, really classy players. So, you've always got your work cut out when you verse blokes like
Yeah.
that. So, yeah.
Are you type of guy that off the kickoff, like, do you love it? Like, or is there ever been a time where you're just like, oh, this sucks, but I just got to do what I got to do?
No,
Or
I
you
love
just, or
it.
is there something that just
Yeah.
G's you up? Like, I'm going to get smashed and I love it.
I think yes. No, I think I love it. Like that's sort of what drives me. Like just sort of that competitive nature. Just because I feel like once you lose that competitive nature, then you're probably not in the right sport. But for me, I've always loved the competitive side of rugby league since a young age. So yeah.
And I will say now that there's been news that come out, literally just broke this week, that David Nofaluma
Yeah.
is headed off to the Melbourne Storm on a loan deal. Now, if anyone's going to get Nofaluma playing his absolute best footy, it's Craig Bellamy. But he probably
need
would have liked to be possibly a one club player. I don't know, the West Tigers, he's been there his whole career. You're parked up at the Tigers now. Do you see yourself staying at the Tigers for the rest of your career? And what do you make of Nofaluma going over to Melbourne?
Yeah, I would love to be a one club player. I really love the club. Went there as a 20-year-old and haven't looked back. And I love everything about the club, everyone involved, and I feel like it's part of my DNA now. So yeah, I'd love to be a one club player. And on the Nofaluma thing, I think it'll be really good for him. For him to hopefully play finals footy this year and bring back that experience. Back to clubland, back at Tigers.
You scared he might not come back?
He might just.
Nah,
Some people say we're
Yeah,
like
back.
we're like
He'll
that
be back.
dad that never came back from the
Said he
server
was
to
going
get
to
his
the shops,
ciggies.
yeah.
Just too good over at Melbourne, may not come back. Nah, he's got to come back.
Nah,
He will.
he'll be back. You know, he's a Tigers man through and through, and you know, I think he'll really enjoy the experience as well.
Good little move for him. Good. I
Yeah,
like the
no,
loan deals.
I agree. It's something different, you know, and it gives like players at a club that are the bottom of the table that haven't really experienced that finals footy because they were going after Reece Walsh. They even, you know, gave Josh
And-
Adokar a phone call to say possibly because they're struggling for outside
Craig
backs.
Bellamy
Melbourne.
walked under a ladder or something because the injuries that they've been copping have been crazy.
Yeah, they've been very unlucky, Melbourne. But I mean, on topics of in the news this week, something that's been massive has been the Tigers' call that against the Cowboys, that one that decided the game. How was the chat around the club after the game? Because I know fans were dejected. A lot of complaints thrown at the NRL. There was a formal complaint made by the club. What's it been like at training with the boys? Is it on to the next week and let's put it behind us, or was it a bit saltier after the game?
No, I think, you know, the boys have moved on, you know, really well. They come into training on Monday and just looking at the task ahead. You know, we've got a top 4 team in Brisbane this week, and you know the boys have been real professional. And you know, while they were pleased with, you know, the way that they played last week, not walking away with the 2 points, you know, if anything, it's just given the boys more motivation going into this week.
Yeah, and you said it, like, good young players coming through. I thought Dewey was really, really good. I even thought the hooker, Manu Brown, he's been playing really well. Who out of this crop of young players that you said has impressed you the most this season?
In terms of young players, you know, all of them. You know, we've seen, you know, Justin debut and, you know, Fanua Pole, and I think, you know, they're all really got bright futures ahead of them. So yeah.
Yeah, Tigerland looking good. But what do you like? Yeah, talk to me, Benny Gardner. He hasn't given too many post-match chats in general, and his first post-match chat is after that. Like, what did he say? Is he focusing on the positives, or is he just letting you boys vent? Because were you there up in Townsville with them?
Nah, I wasn't. I was on the couch at home. So
Throwing
bit-
stuff
bit
at
hard
the
to
TV.
comment.
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
Okay.
Were you watching it? Were you watching?
Yeah, I
it
was
at
watching.
home?
Yeah, of course.
Blowing
yeah.
up.
Shoe the TV or?
Nah, look, it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, you know, surprisingly, they're saying that the NRL are looking at possibly overturning it. They're waiting on like investigation into the bunker and
surely
a
that won't
tribunal. I could see for like a precedent being set if a game-winning call is made like that and it's wrong, and the referee's boss come out and acknowledge it's wrong, they could overturn it and award the Tigers the 2 points. Like in a team that's trying to avoid the spoon,
yeah,
that
it's a
2
big
points
point,
is
yeah.
massive, you know?
I just can't see it happening. Alex, big World Cup coming up this year. I feel like it's the best, most wide-open Rugby League World Cup. And the Cedars, Lebanon, have got a stacked team. Best Cedars team ever, Bernard, for sure. Yeah?
I was saying it to Alex. I reckon it is one of the better ones that they're going to put forward. But I think in saying that, it's probably just a better backline. Definitely, they need some. They need some forwards. What do you reckon? Like in terms of backline, it's one of their best they've put forward in a long time.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an exciting, you know, lineup. You know, I think our 2017 World Cup team was also a really strong team. You know, we obviously had, you know, the likes of Robbie Farah, Tim Manor, Michael Leisha back then, and so I think, you know, they're probably par on. You know, this year, you know, we've got, you know, Jacob Carraz coming through, and you know, we've got some, you know, really good outside backs. You know, we'll have Josh Mansell this time around as well. So
that's awesome.
That'll be huge.
You know, it's really exciting, you know, for everyone that's, you know, involved with the Cedars. You know, it's going to be a really exciting World Cup campaign.
Do players enjoy their World Cup experience as much as like I can't say like an Origin or like a club, but like they do. Like a lot of Lebanon players that I've spoken to, or even just international players, say that camp is one of the best things ever. It's like being around the boys.
It's in
you know,
France this year?
It's in England this
sorry,
year.
England, yeah.
How is like being in camp with the Cedars?
Yeah, going back to 2017, it was one of the best camps I've ever been on. You know, it was just, you had a different Lebanese restaurant every night. You know, the drums are out every time you're playing. You know, everyone just gets around you, and it's really good. You know, have the whole community around you, and yeah, just speaking on that last camp, you know, it was definitely, you know, a memory of a lifetime.
Couple big night outs when you're on those maybe after games or bonding sessions, or no?
Yeah,
more?
we had a few, but more just getting around the boys. To
Yeah.
be honest, yeah, probably stay away from the nightclubs. More just
Yeah.
get away. Yeah, just get away, spend some time with the boys, and you know, bond.
Yeah, well, this year with the World Cup being overseas, I think there's plans to take the Lebanon team over to Lebanon for a week before they go over.
like that.
And they'll be in England. So, mate, we're definitely going to need you there. Let's hope we have you on
so.
board. But I mean, that brings us to our would you rather question. We do this with every guest that we have on, and we try and make it a tough question.
This is a good one.
Yeah, okay. Our would you rather question is now, would you rather win a World Cup with Lebanon or win a Premiership with the Tigers? Putting you in the hot seat.
Yeah, definitely. I have to say, win a premiership with the West Tigers. Yeah, that's
100%.
That's at the top of my list. As an NRL player.
Because it's over a whole year as well.
Oh, you work towards it as a player.
Oh, it's what I've always dreamt of as well since I've been at the club. So, yeah, they're definitely at the top of my list.
You want to get the tattoo with the boys.
Yeah.
Once you have the
Little
club
Tigers.
logo,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's what you dream of. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I mean, you'd probably ask every player that they'd rather win an NRL Premiership than a World Cup. But then, maybe ask some State of Origin players that question. Would you rather win a State of Origin series or a Premiership? I don't know. I think NRL Premierships is at the top of the list for most players.
I think,
For sure.
99% of players definitely.
Especially for the West Tigers, like proud club.
Yeah,
Like
especially us, because even
crazy
sometimes
fans.
after, we win some back-to-back games, it's just the momentum of the fans and everyone involved with the club. It's a really good club to be at, so.
What's it like playing at Leichhardt Oval? Like, you always hear it in the commentary whenever there's a game there, Sunday Arvo, Gus Gould starts going into his poetry. Like, what's it like playing at those suburban grounds, like with those fans?
Yeah, it's awesome. You obviously, feel very connected to the club, and especially when you're playing at them suburban grounds. Yeah, it's just, all the locals come out from their homes and, sit up on top of the hill.
Nothing
Can we
Leichhardt.
ask one thing? We brought this up on our potty a few months ago. I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember. Maybe you had some influence on this. When the West Tigers were playing the Bulldogs. Bulldogs now you'd associate with big Lebanese fan base.
Leb
the
drums, yeah, for sure.
The West Tigers, though, they brought out the Lebo drums. Did you have some
They've been
influence on
using
that?
that.
They've been using the Lebo drums.
Yeah,
What's that about?
I know, it just brings a good atmosphere, provides good atmosphere, I guess, and just gets everyone excited.
Did you rate you and do you raise something to management and saying,
Yeah,
we need
like-
Yeah,
something?
look,
I feel like you maybe converted. Maybe you two have converted some fans over.
Yeah, no, we definitely got, quite a big fan base, so, yeah.
Well, in terms of like fan bases, and not just general to the West Tigers fan bases, because there's a lot of players that cop it on social media just as much as they get some affinity from fans. There's players that have been hit up in the DMs when they make a bad play or cost someone their multi. Have you ever had someone spray in the DMs for a performance, or maybe you've cost someone their multi or something like that? Has that happened before?
Yeah, I've definitely copped the
Cop
the spray every now and then.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with not scoring a try and that.
Oh, are you serious?
Had a
People
few-
taking you anytime try score. What are you paying 100 to 1?
No, I don't know, but
Oh, man, I'm just going off
Nah.
probability.
you always, as a professional athlete, you're always gonna be open to criticism, so it just comes with it. But yeah,
You read through like comments and DMs, or you just
not really, man. I'll just use mainly social media just in a positive light and
Yeah.
try to stay off it. When after a loss or whatnot, and yeah.
I feel like you're one of the you're becoming a cult hero though, thanks to the NRL roast.
Yeah.
Like there's a few players like that, like Mark Nichols. And
Yeah.
you're 10 times the
Remember
bloke
Billy
that Mark Nichols.
Malgulius when he was at Cronulla? Everyone got around him because of bloke in a
So
bar.
like social media can be good, but
Yeah.
it can
Yeah.
also
Oh mate, when you cross over, it'll be history making. It'll be.
Yeah.
We can't wait for it to happen.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for it to happen.
Do the boys mention it? Like now, surely it's become a big thing.
Yeah, it's definitely obviously become a bit of a thing now. Yeah, every time I see someone, have you scored a try yet, mate? No. I'm just looking forward to the day, I guess.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
You need to work on a try celebration.
Yeah, no, he'll get something. He'll get something going. But we're introducing this new segment in. Okay, Dums, you want to talk him through it? It's pretty much based on two truths, one line. Dums is going to
Okay.
put us through some questions. Us being the two
Okay.
Cedars here.
Here we go. All right, so we're gonna play a game between you two.
Yeah.
Okay. So producer Shabs, the ones that are in red are the lie.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to say 3 things. 2 of them are a truth, and 1 of them is a lie.
Yeah.
Okay, so round 1. James Seguiaro, who's back this week, has never lost a debut match despite playing for 5 different clubs and Papua New Guinea. New South Wales has not won a decider in Brisbane since 2000. And the last one, Adam Reynolds has scored his most tries and most field goals against the Dragons.
Which one's a lie? Is that what we have to guess?
Yeah, that's what you have to.
lie.
2's a lie.
Uh,
Correct. There you
okay,
go.
there
Yeah.
you go. Two's a
Very
lie.
quick.
Right, you say
All right,
it.
one-
I was going to go with James Seguiaro.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Yeah,
that one's really.
shit.
So James Seguiaro, there you go. If you want some jam for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, get on Manly.
Get on
Seguiaro's
that.
debuting. Shit.
Okay, 1-0 to Alex.
All right.
Question 2.
Fuck.
Every time David Clemmer scores a try, his team wins.
Mm-hmm.
Newcastle have not won a home game against Souths in over 10 years. And Damien Cook has more tackles than any other current NRL player.
I'm gonna go with the first one being the lie, one being the lie.
No, actually, no. Can I change it?
Yeah, you can change it.
I'll change it to
Was it Clemmer?
what was C again?
C was Damien Cook has more tackles than any other player in the NRL.
What was B?
Newcastle has not won a home
Yeah,
game
B.
against... You're both wrong.
C.
Damien
C.
Cook's the lie.
So yeah, Andrew McCulloch actually has the most tackles.
Okay, yeah, okay, there you go.
All right, so it's still 1-0.
All right, I got to bring it back. Then we'll go sudden death.
Yeah. Question number 3.
To the decider.
Dane Gagai has a 0% win rate against South. After 99 games, Brandon Smith has still never lost against half of the NRL players. It's a random one. Joey Manu and Turbo are the only players in history to crack 400 run meters.
A.
That's a lie. No one's cracked 400 run meters. Last one. C's a lie.
A.
You know what? You're right. It is C, but someone has cracked it, and it's only Joey Manu.
Okay, shit.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
both
there
of
you
them
go.
is right.
Both
Okay.
of them- okay, so
1-1.
1-1.
You said you were taking it to the decider.
We need to find one. All right, it's time for the decider.
Mhm.
1-1 between Bernard and Alex. Let's go. Last one. DCE and Kieran Foran have only lost once to the Titans when playing together. Damien Cook is the first hooker to score a hat-trick since 2015. And the Eels have blown the most double-digit leads in the past 3 seasons.
C.
I'm going to go A as the lie. DCE and Foreign have only lost once. to the
DCE
Titans.
and Foreign have only lost once. The lie was the Eels have blown the most double-digit leads. It's actually the Bulldogs.
Okay, there you go. Well, mate.
So who won?
You won.
Oh, what?
There you go.
Yeah,
Alex
Liberty.
takes the win 2-1.
Thanks,
Hey,
brother.
forwards do have brains, mate.
Yeah.
But
I like
don't
that.
listen
You know
to what they say.
I like that segment as well.
It's
Lie,
not a bad
lie.
segment.
That'll be coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
So Alex takes out the first.
But yeah, no, Alex, we're headed into the finals. Now, there's only 5 rounds left in the NRL. You've probably played against every club this year. Who do you see as probably going on to win it? And who's probably
the
the
team to
dark
beat?
horses as well?
I think, obviously Penrith favourites.
Yeah.
They're a classy team. Dark horses, I'd probably say Sharkies.
On their day.
on their day,
Yeah,
they're a really
yeah,
good team, and they have been all season. They've been a good team all season, so can't go past the Sharkies, I reckon.
And what's it like playing against the Penrith Panthers? Because they just look clinical. When they're full strength, it's like that first 10-minute grind, they've got it down pat. They don't make any errors, get to their kick,
Yeah.
and just grind you out of a... What's that noise? Oh, sorry. They just grind you out
Something's
of a...
going on in the back.
Yeah, I know. They just grind you out of the game
Yeah.
off the bat. Is it... Like when you play against Penrith, are you expecting that it's going to be that type of game?
Yeah, just they're an 80-minute team, and they have been for the last couple of seasons. It's never an easy day out against them, and you have to be on your game for 80 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you like it? Maybe like a dark horse. Could you see a South or something like that with Latrell
Making
back?
a late run, yeah.
Yeah, they've got some classy players as well. Latrell, Damien Cook, Cody Walker. So it's actually real hard to pick, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, they're all really good teams. So I guess you just have to wait and see.
We do like a little bit of a long shot segment. We're not going to put gambling in this one.
No,
because,
you
you can get
can't.
in trouble.
Yeah, exactly
So I'm just
right.
going to call it the bold statement.
Yeah.
Tigers got a couple big signings coming in, big coaches coming in. Top 8 next year.
I'm always putting the Tigers as a chance. Obviously that's why we play, and I would love nothing more than to play finals with the club.
I think so. That and you bundle in you getting your first try next year.
That'd be massive, yeah.
I think
Same
that-
game multi.
Yeah,
Tigers in the top 8. Alex Twal to get his first try. I like those odds. It's probably paying about 150
Yep.
to 1. No, imagine. No. I you know what? It'd be nice to see some new teams in the 8 next year. Like the Dogs, with how they're playing a bit more expensive footy. I think they'll be a fixture in the 8 as well. It'll be good to see
How
some
do
new
you think
teams
the
in there.
coaching dynamic goes? Like, is Robbie Farah and Benji, is that like a good cop, bad cop? Like, is Benji the one that's going to be like...
Yeah, because Robbie's been running the blue shirt here and there as well, and he's
Yeah.
been up in the box more so recently. Yeah, what do you think that
What's
dynamic's
that dynamic
going
going to be like? Then you got the old goat.
Not
Tim
too sure. I'm
Sheens.
just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But they'll always have the club's best interests at heart. So whatever way they go, I'm sure that it's going to be beneficial for the playing group.
One thing you can't deny though, like especially if you're a Tigers junior coming up, and I heard their juniors coming up are really, really good. You're getting the goats. Like you're getting the three.
Yeah.
You think West Tigers, you think you've got the goat coach and the 2 goat players.
Yeah, and they're bringing that old school, culture back that they had. Just the Tigers being their own type of, team, them against everyone. They got Aaron Woods coming back next year as well. So I don't know. It's going to be very nostalgic next year.
Is he coming back? I didn't know he signed.
Yeah, 1 year's deal next year.
I didn't either. I think you broke that on the
No,
VT.
yeah. that came out this week. And Benji also is making calls to Teddy. Hopefully he can rekindle some. He's trying to get Teddy back over to the Tigers. I don't know how lucky he'll be there.
I think Teddy's too ingrained.
But yeah, he's got. I mean, they got grand plans. Benji's saying he's looking to reach out to Mitchell Moses as well. Like, there's I think,
another Cedar great.
Yeah, no, but I think he just wants that old school Tigers mentality. Bring juniors back to the club. And bring back experience to the club and point him in the right direction. But, I mean, they're going to look promising next year. Let's see how Sheensy goes. He's saying he's got a 3-year plan to get them on the right track and then put forward Benji and Robbie. So, mate, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
looking forward to seeing you back on the field.
Thanks,
Firstly, getting back healthy. And what are your plans for the rest of the season? Obviously, getting right by your doctors, but... would you still try and go over, see how the Cedars go in the World Cup?
We'll just wait and see.
Yeah.
Just take each day as it comes. So we'll just.
Anything else planned other than getting married?
No Europe
wedding.
trips, mate.
No Europe trips.
Europe trips are
Yeah.
done now. That's it.
I'm get that bronze colour.
after here.
Yeah.
About to Mykonos.
Beautiful. Well, man, all the best.
Thanks, lads.
Can't wait to see you back on the field.
Appreciate it.
Pumped to see what happens with the Tigers next season as well. And guys, make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok. And this will be on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm.
Bernard, anything on this weekend?
No, mate. I'm going to be hitting some footy games. Obviously, get the content. Last week I was at the Bulldogs Para game. Got a lot of the Bulldogs fans unhappy with Tino for Sulamala-Awi. They let him have it. But yeah, I'll be catching a few games and just keep an eye out doing some Europe-Australia content. But other than that,
Lovely.
yeah, looking forward to the footy. But no, thanks for jumping on, Twal. You're a
Thanks,
legend,
brother.
mate. Till next time, guys, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for giving us a listen.
Ciao.